For number 1 on our warm-up, we are given a table, and we need to figure out which equation matches that table. Now we can't use our magic number trick because our x's don't go all in a row like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to just ask ourselves, what's the relationship between x and y? What's happening here? What am I doing to x to make it turn into this y? And I'm going to look at my choices here and just kind of start eliminating wrong answers. Here I have x minus 5. So I need to ask myself, am I subtracting 5 each time? If I look at my 0, is 0 minus 5 1? No, it's not. Is 5 minus 5 21? No, 5 minus 5 is 0. Is 10 minus 5 41? No, 10 minus 5 is 5. So these x's, if I subtract 5, are not coming up with these y's. So this is not the correct answer. It is not minus 5. For the next one, I've got y equals 4x plus 1. That's times 4 plus 1 times 4 plus 1. So I'm going to look and see, is when I plug in, or is that what I'm doing to my x's? Am I multiplying by 4 and adding 1? Am I multiplying by 4? Is it times 4 plus 1? So let's check. If I do 0 times 4, I get 0. And 0 plus 1 is 1. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 plus 1 is 41. So this is times 4 plus 1 times 4 plus 1 times 4 plus 1. B is our correct answer. For number 2, we have an equation and we need to figure out which table matches, and we're going to do that by plugging in our x values to the equation. And I'm going to start with 0, and I'm going to see when I plug in 0, is my y value going to be 7 or is my y value going to be 10? So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. Y equals 5 times 0 plus 2. And remember, order of operations, we need to do our parentheses first. 0 plus 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. And I'm going to rewrite this. Y equals 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So when I plug in 0, I get 10. I do not get 7. A is not the correct answer. So now I'm going to look here at my tables, and I see that I have a difference here for 1. If I plug in 1, it's saying I should either get 15 or 7. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 1 and see what I get. Do I get 15 or do I get 7? I'll do that right here. Y equals 5 times 1 plus 2. I'm plugging in my 1 there for the x. I'm going to do my parentheses first. 1 plus 2 is 3. So y equals 5 times 3. Y equals 15. Excuse me. So when I plug in 1, I get 15. B is my correct answer. 1, 15. B is my correct answer. I canceled out A. When I plug in 1, it's not 7, so my answer is not C. And the only possible choice left is B. For number 3, we are given an equation and a table, and it's telling us to finish the table. This is super easy. You should be really good at this by now because you've been doing this for a while. You just plug in your x values here where the x is. So we've got -4 times -5 plus 1. And remember, especially when you have your negatives, use your calculator. Use your calculator. Remember, do 4 negative times 5 negative plus 1. If you plug in 4 negative times 5 negative, you're going to get positive 20 plus 1. And positive 20 plus 1 is 21. Next one. Y equals -4 times 0. We're going to do times 0. -4 times 0 plus 1. -4 times 0 is 0 plus 1. Y equals 1. And now I'm going to plug in 5. Plug in 5. Y equals -4 times 5 plus 1. And if you plug this into your calculator, you'll see -4 times positive 5 is -20. And then -20 plus positive 1, if you plug that into your calculator, 20 negative plus 1, you would get negative 19. Please use your calculator. Let it help you with these negatives. That's what it's there for. And last one, y equals negative 4 times 10 plus 1. Once again, plug it in your calculator. Negative 4 times 10 is negative 40 plus 1. Negative 40 plus 1 is negative 39. Y equals negative 39. And I'm sorry, my writing is so messy. For number 4, the question says, which equation correctly represents the following graph? So we've got some equations. We need to find the one that represents the following graph. We're going to use y equals mx plus b. Remember, b is our y-intercept. B is our y-intercept. We're going to see where it crosses, and it crosses at positive 2. So our b is positive 2. Let's see, this b says positive 1, so that's not a right answer. This b says positive 2. This one doesn't even have a b, so that's wrong. And this one says positive 2. For the second part, we need to know the slope. What's our m? What's our slope? And remember, that's rise over run, rise over run. Notice our two choices here. We have positive 2 and negative 2. Positive 2 and negative 2. Now we're going to start here at our y-intercept, and we're going to rise and run, always going to the right, always going to the right, just like you read a book or you write from the left to the right. We're always going to the right. And here we'll see we want to find another matching dot. There we go. There's another matching dot where it crosses nice and neatly. Here we see that we're actually going to fall 2 and run 1. Fall 2 and run 1. So this is a negative 2 over 1. You'll notice this graph, as you go left to right, it's going downhill, downhill. So this has a negative slope. It's negative 2 rise, or we could call it a fall, over a 1 run. Negative 2 over 1 is our slope, which can also be written as negative 2, which is D. It's got a negative slope because it's going downhill. All right, number 5, graph the following. Y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Remember, we're going to use y equals mx plus b. Notice we have a negative 5 there, negative 5 there. We could rewrite this using keep, change, change as 2/3 x plus negative 5. So our b is negative 5. B is negative 5. So we're going to be crossing the y-intercept at negative 5. There it is. And then we need to do our rise over run. Rise over run. M is rise over run. And here our slope is 2/3. So we're going to rise 2, run 3. Rise 2, run 3. Here we go. Rise 2, run 3, dot. Rise 2, run 3, dot. And then we connect those dots. And this is a positive 2/3. So as we go to the right, we're going uphill, up the hill as we're going to the right. Super easy. Number 6. This should be one of the easier questions on your quiz. It's wondering if it's going to be an uphill or downhill graph because the slope is positive or negative. And remember, slope is right here with the x. And we've got a negative slope here, so it's going downhill. We've got a negative slope, so we're going to be going downhill. If it were a positive slope, we'd be going uphill. But this one is a negative slope, so we're going downhill. And last one. Let's see, which ordered pair falls on the line represented by the following equation? This one looks confusing because we've never done one like this before, but it's actually super easy. We've got our x and our y coordinates. We're going to plug in our x and see if we get the correct y. So we're going to use this equation to plug in our x. Y equals 0 plus 4. We're plugging in our x where the x goes. And when I do this, I have y equals 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. But here it says my ordered pair should be 3. So this ordered pair would not fall on the line because it's not giving me the correct y. Let's look at the next one. If I plug in 1, y equals 1 plus 4. I plug in 1 there. Y equals 1 plus 4. I get y equals 5, which is the y that it says right here. So that one, if I plug in this ordered pair, 1, 5, is on the line. It is on the line. It works. It is on the line. That's the correct answer. The end. Good luck on your quiz. You're going to get to do a little bit more practice before you take your quiz. Hopefully that warm-up helped you.